Hello, you're very welcome to the channel today. My name's Trish, and if this is the only video of mine you ever watch, I'll be happy, because the tips that I'm going to share with you in this video changed my life for the better. If you practice and internalize the tips in this video, I promise you will feel more confident, more comfortable in your own skin, and be able to enjoy the clothes that you wear and the outfits that you put together. The truth is, I could never have started this YouTube channel a couple of years ago because I just didn't have the confidence. I didn't feel as comfortable in my own skin as I do now. And a couple of things happened that changed my perception of myself, and I'll go into that in the video. As you can see, I don't have the typical influencer body where I'm not tall, I'm not skinny, I never will be, and I've made my peace with that. How, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you. But before we get started, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I post new videos every week, and subscribing will make sure you never miss one. My very first tip is to understand your proportions. And it's actually quite simple to do. Basically, I just want you to ask yourself, do I have a long or a short torso, or somewhere in between? And do I have long or short legs in proportion to my overall height? And there's an easy way to check this. So the chances are, if you have a long torso, you'll have short legs, and vice versa. And how you check this is really simple. Just use the length of your own hand, because remember, it's all relative, it's all proportional to you yourself. So using your own hand as a measurement, pop your hand against your torso like so, and then measure downwards. So put another hand underneath, and then see where your belly button falls. If it falls below your second hand measurement, it means you have a long torso. And that is the case with me. I have a long torso. So my belly button is another 2 inches below my second hand measurement. If your belly button is underneath your second hand, then you have a short torso. And if it's just on the bottom of your second hand measurement, then your torso is just proportional to your overall length. So for myself, I have a long torso. And so it generally follows then, and it's true for me, that my legs then are comparatively shorter when compared to my overall height. So that's the proportions I am working towards. I am working towards a long torso and short legs. And keeping these proportions in mind is really important when I build outfits, because I'm always looking to create a balanced silhouette. When I keep that principle in mind, all of my outfits will look better. Knowledge of your own proportions allows you to leverage something called the rule of thirds, which is basically a rule for creating aesthetically pleasing visual designs. And now, an outfit is so much more than a visual composition, of course, but if you want to look nice in photos and videos, and just confident and pleased with your outfit as you look in the mirror, then following the rule of thirds will really assist you in doing that and creating a much more balanced and proportional look. So because my legs are proportionately short, I always find that the most flattering way I can apply the rule of thirds is by lengthening my legs as much as possible. So I do that by using high-waisted bottoms. So it creates this very long line all the way from my foot through my leg and then up through my hip all the way to my waist as well. So it just gives my legs the longest possible visual line. And then I will wear a top that is cropped or tucked in, or even just half tucked for a more effortless vibe. But that silhouette will always create a more flattering outfit on my particular body type. So knowing your proportions is a really powerful tool, and knowing where you're proportionately short and where you're proportionately long will allow you to create balance in your outfits and lessen or accentuate those proportions where you want to. I noticed a big difference in the effectiveness of my outfits as soon as I started using this tip. The second tip I'm calling It's All Relative Part 2, and that is to stop comparing yourself to others. Obviously, we're told to do this all the time, but I think it's really important to internalize that message, because we are uniquely ourselves. No one else can be us, and we can't be anyone else. All we can do is make the most of ourselves and celebrate ourselves. So not comparing yourself to others is such a powerful thing to do. And when I started to do this, it did wonders for my self-confidence. So as I said at the beginning, I am not a typical influencer shape. You know, I'm not skinny, I'm definitely not tall, I never will be, and that's fine. I am not going to compare myself to supermodel bodies because it's just completely unrealistic, and also it takes all sorts to make a world. I really like how I look myself. I no longer compare myself to that really impossible standard, impossible for my body type. Obviously it's not impossible for everyone, but it's impossible for me to live up to that standard. Even if I went on a crazy diet and exercise regime, I could never achieve a supermodel look because, number one, I'm just not tall enough, obviously, and it's just unrealistic to work towards that. So all I can do is appreciate the body I have got. And I find being able to appreciate me for me is something that has come more with age. Maybe it's wisdom and experience, I don't know. But certainly since I stopped comparing myself to unrealistic role models and stopped setting myself unrealistic expectations, I began to see myself a lot more clearly and appreciate myself a lot more. So this one is a really powerful tool as well, and something that I've used a lot over the last few years, and it's something that's really increased my self-confidence. Tip number 3 is something that I have tried to share in so many different ways throughout my work on this channel. So honestly, this is not a plug for my own work, but truly, if you want to find out more, do watch some of my previous videos because I talk a lot about this tip. And that is, it's not your body, it's the clothes. Clothes should fit us, not the other way around. Now, honestly, if I could have told myself this years ago, I would have been a happier person right throughout my 20s. But I really had to learn this the hard way. So the clothes we buy today are largely off the rack. It's not like in the 1900s where, you know, people used to walk into the tailor shops and the seamstresses and actually get clothes made for them to their measurements. We don't do that anymore. We have fast fashion, and even, you know, with the exception of haute couture, even luxury brands don't manufacture clothes to people's exact measurements. We buy off the rack. And what that means is that there are quite a lot of clothes out there that won't fit everybody. There are some clothes out there that won't fit anybody. And so the point is that we need to be careful with our clothes selection. We need to understand what we're looking for. So for example, a shirt, you know, when we're buying a shirt, it's really useful to know what the general rule of thumb is for getting a shirt to fit correctly. So for example, when you extend your arm, the sleeve should come to here, the space between the buttons shouldn't gape across the chest, basic things like that. But the magic of learning how to dress well and properly, in my opinion, lies in styling. So styling could be something as simple as just rolling up your sleeves, which I do a lot on this channel. It could be whether you choose to tuck something in the whole way around, or whether you choose to just do a quick French tuck in the side, or a half tuck, which I know can be a controversial topic. There was a spirited moment in my comment section a few weeks ago on the half tuck. Some people hate it, some people love it. Personally, I really like the half tuck. I like the undone look, but again, it's just a styling tool. Pick and choose as you like. By using these styling tools, then we can transform our outfits from something that really doesn't fit us very well or doesn't look flattering on us into something that looks like it was made for us and that flatters our body type. So for example, and this is something I am always talking about and showing you on my channel, but I am a big fan of the French tuck, which is just a really small tuck in the very front, and then the rest of the top just drapes outside the body. Instead of trying to show you with my hands, I'll put in some cutaways so you can see what I'm on about. But it's a very effective styling hack. Another thing is, you know, choosing whether you cuff your jeans or not. Do you allow your jeans to fall full length and kind of ruche up at the end? I never do that, by the way, because like I say, I have short legs in comparison to my overall height. So I will never allow my jeans to look baggy at the end, because that is something that will make my legs look a lot shorter than they actually are. So I favor cropped pants and cuffed pants that stop around the ankle joint. And I find that by utilizing that length in my pants, it just creates a much more flattering look. The power of styling is absolutely magical. Layering is very powerful. Choosing whether or not to tuck something in is very powerful. And choosing your silhouettes. So a baggy jean versus a cropped straight leg jean, for example, is powerful as well. And it all goes back to tip number 1 at the beginning, which is know your proportions. Once you know your proportions and know where you want to highlight and accentuate and where you maybe want to draw attention away from, then those are powerful pieces of knowledge that will allow you to create outfits that you feel that look a lot more flattering on you, and more importantly, that you feel more comfortable wearing. So that was tip number 3. Make sure you wear your clothes and not the other way around. Tip number 4 in this video is to make an effort. And when I say make an effort, I mean an honest effort. And let me explain what I mean by that. So I cannot lie to myself. I mean, I've tried over the years. I think we've all tried to lie to ourselves with varying degrees of success. But I always know in my gut when I'm phoning it in, or when I truly am pushing outside my comfort zone and truly doing my best. You know, I cannot lie to myself about when I am taking shortcuts versus when I'm doing my best. I know when I'm making a true effort and when I'm doing my best. And that might look different from day to day depending on the amount I have on my plate and the amount of responsibilities I have to fulfill that day. All that matters is that I truly do my best, and that is the standard that I hold myself to. So if I have half an hour and only half an hour to spare, and I use that to walk Chloe, then I will understand and accept and be happy that I have made that effort and made a good choice for myself that day. So when it comes to self-confidence, making that effort is one of the most important things I've done for myself. As I continue making those efforts, so for me, for example, making an effort would look like good nutrition, so making an effort with what I eat and making sure that I eat healthily most of the time. It would mean that I walk Chloe regularly, and it would mean that I get in a couple of workouts every week. Once I do 3 to 4 workouts a week and walk Chloe, then that for me is maximum effort when it comes to my physical training and my physical schedule. That is truly all I can fit in because I have a full-time job and I have YouTube as well, and that's what feels good for my body as well. You know, I'm pushing beyond my comfort zone, but it doesn't feel excessive. You know, I do have time left over in my life for my other priorities as well. When I make those good choices and consistently make an effort and feel as though I'm progressing, it actually doesn't matter what I look like on the outside. Genuinely, I could be heavier than I am right now, but if I am adhering to a really good, healthy diet and fitness regime, I will not feel guilty about the fact that I'm heavier than I am now. I will only feel good about the fact that I'm doing my best and that I'm moving in the right direction. So that is why making an effort, an honest effort, is such a powerful tool. It automatically makes you feel better about yourself. I mean, it definitely does for me. When I make an effort, I feel good. It's as simple as that. And so that is why it is my 4th and final tip. And that is it. It's just 4 tips. It's not that much, is it? But I really find that just by using these, it's made such a difference to my life. It's made such a difference to my internal life and how I feel about myself. And I know that by using these tips, they can really help you as well. So let me know what you think about this video. It's something very, very different for me. I don't normally do videos like this on my channel. Normally I focus on outfits and styling and tips and tricks to get the most out of my outfits and my clothes. So yeah, this is very different, but let me know if you liked it, and let me know, of course, if you will use any of these tips. I really hope you do, because they have really helped me. One last thing, if you would like to see these tips put into action a little bit more when it comes to outfits and styling, then check out this video I did on tweaking Pinterest outfits to suit my body type. I am petite and curvy, and so I've taken these Pinterest outfits and I have used the same or similar pieces, but just changed the styling on them, tweaked them a little bit to make them so much more flattering on. So I really hope you check out that video and it gives you something useful to think about. As always, thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.